Hey people, on that last movie, JTK's World asked me what I thought about this, and I clicked on it, and it was this basic Freemason symbol. So the quick answer is it means the second degree. And I'll leave this link here to the sacredtext.com, symbols used in religious teachings. And so the second degree means, everything you learn after your first degree. So if you got the first degree, this isn't a compass, this is a divider. These are map makers' tools. And so this is a divider, or H, G. And you can Google HGG and it'll bring you to this sacred text page if you search pictures and find the right picture. So read this whole page and read between the lines. And what I mean by read between the lines is when it talks about Ra. Remember, Ra is the first knowledge, or the morning sun. And when it says it all come from this knowledge all come from the land of Mu, remember that Mu means a frictional constant. But it'll tell you that people came from Mu and brought the sacred mysteries with them. In a room where this symbol appears, postulant received his second degree. You have to be in the club and get your first degree first before you start on anything else. The temple was built 12,000 years ago. And so this language is ancient. It come from before that, and from the land of Mu. And so when you see the G, it means 3. This is that G here. And so this triangle means ascension on top. And so the square underneath sits on his corner, and so it has a different meaning. So the triangle with the 3 stars symbolize triangle of heaven. And the 3 stars within the symbol are the 3 members of the triune Godhead. And the triune Godhead dwells in heaven, but as above is so below. And so the triune God is the stars of this summer triangle for their sailing. And it was the 3 brightest stars that they see in the summer. And so the brightest one is this one in Aquila and Altar. And so in Arabic, Aquila means bright, smart. But as above is so below. And the heaven also sits in your cranium. So when you put this on top of a square, in figure 4, it symbolizes that the triune Godhead is in heaven above the earth. But when you flip that square up on its corner, it gives it a different meaning. And if you had Googled the HGG, this is the picture you'll see that'll bring you here. And that's why I do most of my searches in pictures. It takes forever to read everything to figure out what you're looking at, but the symbols is what it bring you to where you need to be. So when the square's placed flat, it represents the earth. But when it's turned up, it represents the 4 cardinal points. And that's your 4 cardinal points in your divider. This is a symbol of map makers, ancient sailors. Ancient sailors, the stars above and the earth below was their knowledge. And everything has several meanings, but this can be read as ascended. And then the G, or the 3, the ox, as who by his power caused. And then the square on his corner, meaning the 4 cardinal points, reference to the 4 pillars. So once this square is turned up on the edge, it no longer is this heaven above, but it's the heaven below. It's just your knowledge. And so what gave me the idea of this movie, I told you, on them curses, I was going to read them first 15 lines a couple more times before I tried to read those curses. And it sent me straight back over to do this movie. So this starts with a WIXU, And they give everything with this XU, commanded, commander, commandments, XUE. And that's because Zu was the general that wrote The Art of War. But Zu is also the name of Eve in the Greek Bible. And we called her Zu because she was the mother of all life. The Zu, all the animals. So I'm going to read this. Everything starts with an A. I'm going to read backwards. And everything, this AT turns into TA or 2, TO. Everything after attack, I'm going to read it backwards and forwards. So this is, instead of EOM, the final M is an S. But when I read it backwards, it's going to be a MO. And then it's going to be a EOS. Final M is an S. And so this is to mow those. Mow means modus operandum in Latin, short for modus operandum. But in British, it means a short period of time. And so this word they say Moses, most of the time it comes up, it's not Moses. But it can be read Moses here. And it gives you a lot better idea of what the word Moses means. M-S-E-U-Z. Must use. So the wits to, your smarts to must use. Moses. Finish his role. Role as in R-O-L-E. His role, his job. And if your job is the ruler, that's where that comes from too. His rule, his role. The wits to Moses, finish his role, to mow those, to from a short time those, lammer, elaborate, saying more. The summer to, locale, evicts, backwards and forwards, evicts from them zoo, to get out of the zoo. In the summer, to locale, evicts from them zoo. The race icon. Icon is an image of your God. To raise icon from the zoo, from the animals, make to they use. So, like I said, the zoo is Eve, the mother of all life, all the animals. And so back in ancient times, all the gods were animals or animal-headed. They were all the animals in the heavens. And the Greeks changed them to men. And that's why, the 12 sons of Israel are now people instead of animals, which they were in the beginning. They by us reset over to the tend rye yarden of share the arch receive you. And so the they by us, they is just like a survey to look over, and then by us, meaning the rulers, the they to look over by us, reset over to, and so they put this vowel on the end to let you know that this next T-O-T-A doesn't read as two. It's over to. And then the tend rye. And rye was your first crop. Rye, it grows itself. It grows as a grass in the garden. Not a yard and not a garden, but it's your garden. It's where you grow your rye grass. And that's where they were getting the whiskey and the beer all come from rye. All your good beer comes from rye. If it ain't got rye in it, it's not good beer. The rest over to tend the rye garden. And that's where they were all going to. It's that time to go tend the rye garden. And then, like the French, the L, of share, backwards, XRA, of the share, the arch receive. The king owns all the land, and you are a sharer, XRA. You're a crop sharer. You go out there and plant and grow, and half of it goes back to the king. Of share the arch, receive, you give yell. Backwards and forwards. RSAEVEYEWE. Receive, you give yell. Not in like. You ain't liking giving half your crop back to the king. We commit like from inveigh, godel what? To side it from to inside. So we commit like inveigh, godel what? Commit like inveigh is means the mercy of their conquerors. Woe to the conqueror would be ve victus. And so victus is the conquered part, and woe is the ve part. And it means entirely at the mercy. Ve. And so we commit like from inveigh, like we've been conquered. We're entirely at their mercy. The godel what? Godel is Arabic for screw. From inveigh to screw what? To side it from to inside. As in decide, them the ones in making decisions. To screw what? To side it from to inside. And so they come out there and they look at your field and they tell you, you got two halves of the field, and they tell you what half belongs to the king. And they're going to find the side that looks pretty, and they're going to screw you, the godel what. And here's a trick to learn these word meanings. Grab what you need there. And put it in a search box. And it'll bring you right here to Wiktionary. Godel, Hebrew, Arabic. Means to twist or to weave or to screw. When I looked at this 6 months ago, it actually said screw in there. But to twist, to turn like a screw. And we commit like from inveigh, from in woe, to totally at your mercy. To screw what? To side it from to inside. What side of my guard you going to take for the king? And then this third line is it's long, and it's really impressive because it goes this far to this line, and then everything reads backwards again. And this is where they usually hide the curses, and they'll put them in this backwards writing. Is where you find the real curses. To cut of it a line to locale, make revive vary the tour. To the cut of it, what you're taking a line to of location, make revive vary. You change it every time, depending on who's coming out on their tour. Whoever's working for the king, on that shift, he's changing it for his tour. To make cut of it align to location, make revive vary the tour. So this is where your word Torah come from. This is Torah, the Ture. And when it says the law, what it means is the man with the gun and the badge is the law. It ain't the law of God, just the man with the gun and the badge. And that's why they rewrote it, and that's why they gave y'all Cinderella's story. That's why they give you that children's book, because they didn't want you to know what this book said. They didn't want you to think about rebelling against the king. They didn't want you to know that it happened in the past and many other times, and that's why they destroyed this book and destroyed everybody who could read and write it, and created a whole new Hebrew language and trained people into believing their silly story. But that's what that means, is the Torah. You join arm and you go on tour with your gun around the world to enforce the law. You put on the badge and you make your tour around the city to enforce the law. And then it's these at in over column on raise to veil to ball is the way people were reading this. But over the column to raise to ball. And so a ball on top of a column is a capital. But it's also called a Bacchus. And a Bacchus also has another meaning too. A Bacchus was this tool that they was carrying to count up to figure your taxes. The tour would carry this tool with them, and nobody else could count but them, and most of them couldn't even count. They were just faking it, the law don't get hired for their intelligence. They get hired for their loyalty. But this B doesn't have a dot in it. It's actually read as a V. And so it's these at in over column on wrist, the vultures, the arch. Receive you, give yell, Aquila. And now all this will read backwards until you get to here. And then you start, it's like you hit the end of a tunnel. Hit a brick wall, and you turn around and read the wall all the way backwards. And you get to here and you take the other route, and then this way. And that's going in the second movie. I'm going to cut this off here. Alright, good day.